Mike, sir. Hello, and back to Sonic, apparently. Um, hello and welcome back to Spelljammer class. Um, at this point, no longer a class. Um, as yeah, you did just skip school. Which is a very entertaining thing for the first class of a school to do. As you guys have been promoted to skip off. Um that maximum like the maximum you rank you can have as a ship officer is a captain. But basically it just means you are all officers on a ship, not officers outside of a ship, which would be a fleet officer. So a commodore, for instance, in charge of two ships, that's going to be a fleet ship officer. All of you have enough renown. If you have at least 10 renown, you are a ship officer. You have enough renown to to be like, hey, I want a ship. I want to be a captain. However, you need a, right? Like, they do not have, the Spelljammer Corps does not have ships. So, somehow get the materials or fire a ship. I'm currently writing out the renown to as 25 renown is your next thing, where the faction, where the Spelljammer Corps will be like, yes, you can now control multiple. As an officer for it, not like you can spell jam for multiple ships, but you are an officer in charge of as a fleet officer rank. Commodore. Right. Misspelled, but oh well. And then 50 is a corps officer, which is if you want to control an actual. That would be admiral. Yeah. All of those are misspelled, but I don't care. As yes, you are all back at the Spelljammer Academy, just recently having graduated, other than player. What is your Spelljammer renown fighter? Okay, yeah. Then you're here. Um, but as we get started, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. So I am Master Kjarl O'Larlandine the First, and I will be your storyteller. Or even, sorry, I will be facilitating this and might hop into story point, but in plot points, because this is a round table. If my I will be playing Handkerchief Hem, and going through the rest of the players, starting with our regular player, Absinthe. Are you here, Absinthe? Cool. Goose, introduce you. Did you say you're having technical difficulties, Goose? Cool, cool. Okay, so we're gonna skip the first two people that we're introducing. Irina, if you'd introduce. And Sillery, go ahead and introduce yourself. Um, and Absinthe, are you back? Yeah. Goose, is your technical difficulties done? Okay, yeah. So go ahead and introduce. As um you have all completed your you've all completed your or fighter, go ahead and introduce yourself. Um and Absinthe still dealing with stuff. Okay. Just got very quiet. You're still very quiet. Is Goose quiet for anyone else? Yes. Yeah. All good. Okay. Um so you are all yes, that is true. However, not what I was about to say. You are all in the um banqueting chamber, which is which if you look at your map is up on the bridge quarters level. One level below the bell dock. um, as the spell dock, yeah. So the bridge cord. As you all now have I believe gold level security clearance, other than Fighter, who is here as guest, essentially. Unless Fighter, are you looking to enroll in the Spelljammer Academy? Yeah, so you're essentially here as a guest. Basically, it's like, oh, this guy's got a sizable mercenary guild that has done space garbage. So, you would actually have green, security level, which is wait, or actually it just um yeah. Okay. Yes, so, all of you would actually, you would have purple, sorry, the officer rank, not gold. Gold is for, like, the administration. Mirk the Merciless and, Bosun Barto. Those people. You are, however, yes, in the banquet, chambers, as you have temporary gold, gold rank for just basically being congratulated for graduating. Even though your graduation was achieved ultimately by subverting the school and, taking a bet. Not change the fact that you are all graduated. You all have the rank of officer or are a visiting noteworthy figure. And you have your ship. By this point, the ship that you've ordered to be constructed with the Thay Spelljammer air, Spelljamming helm, is currently still under construction. But your turtle ship is ready to go whenever you want. Of course, the Spelljammer Academy itself, the Spelljammer, is a place where you can, well, advance your own education, but it's also just a hub for the Spelljamming core. The main base, essentially, of the Spelljamming core. Does not officially have any other base. It is bustling. Spelljammer Academy with sorties constantly listed, as well as plenty of the Spelljammer captains here at various times, talk and mingle. Um, you are all in that room together, all having a fine meal. Banquet hall, which does have a balcony with like large glass doors, kind of leading out, and you can see the astral sea. You are currently orbiting the planet of Abiar Toril, directly across from. You are currently like orbiting in a somewhat stationary orbit above the Beirut. And this one. I mean, yes, there is a bar. Are you wanting to just leave the celebratory dinner to go to the bar? Oh. Yeah. Sorry, wrong type of bar. Yeah, there is an open bar in the banquet room. Okay. Um. Yeah. Um. So. Yeah. So, like, you are in this room. In this room, there is Mirth the Merciless is in here. Um the primary teachers, so Bosun, um this is basically, yeah, just like a lunch of the administration. So you have like Mr. Blip, the auto gnome, is here. The pint-sized um pint-sized nimble right. Mert the Merciless is here, the opposite of a pint-sized person. The very rotund privateer captain who is the head master academy. He's in here as well. Bosun Tarto, the Hadozi, yeah, the Hadozi bosun instructor here, the more military-minded, more crew-minded instructor. This monkey woman who is has one, like, essentially skin flap wing coming wrist, attaching to her hip, and then attaching to her ankle, whereas her other one has her signature cigar. Well, of course, the astral like quarter elf of Surthi Abazin? Yeah, Surthi Abazin, spelljamming instructor, the one that instructs about the piloting side of things, is, well, you would also have Dip and Pick Whistle Slap, which are the two gnome inspectors. They're all here, along with essentially some different perspective, some like perspective people to join the spelljamming corps. There is, or who have been in there are, there is a, there's Fighter, who your You, of course, don't have a Spelljammer yourself, but you do have astral ships that are significant, and a control of your own sizable mercenary guild. Not insanely massive, but sizable. And here as well is here as well is a yeah, we'll just say Therian himself. Is Therian, the head of the Therian Corporation, a man who you know to have provided basically a starting arsenal for the Academy of Thunder Arms, as well as you had seen his company's logo on the cannons and thunder powder that the Day vessel, a Spelljammer staffed by a Lich Lesser, was sailing. On that ship there were Therian well on their guns. Yeah, so you're all in the banquet room. There's, like, all of the, administration of the Academy, which, of course, is also kind of a central base for Spelljammering captains. There is no, like, primary fort or anything for the Spelljamming Corps. And, not only are they there to graduate you, but also a few mercenary leaders, as well as Therian himself, the owner of the Therian Corporation. Yeah, there's, basically there is an open bar, and, like, if you just take a full bottle, Bosun Tarto will kind of, like, raise an eyebrow at you. But, like, everyone has poured them, Tarto is already holding just holding what looks like a nice, just a mug of it. Whereas other people have, drinks as well. Yeah. That's long.
uh...
Everything else with it. Yeah, I mean... Irina, go ahead and make a sleight of hand. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, so you sorry, what was the roll again? The sleight of hand was it 20? 30 20? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will say we are playing at level it was level 7 now. As yes, so you what is your passive perception Goose at level 7? Beats it. Yeah, so Irina, you just barely manage to like in a brief moment when Goose is distracted, you manage to like fill up like half a tankard of the bottle of wine from the bottle of wine that Absinthe has. You kind of swirl it around Absinthe though, but it is noticeably less full. Um, um, I mean, yeah. Now that has clearly been indicated. Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we didn't catch that. Yeah. Yeah, as you're trying to give it to Absinthe, the Goose instead it just turns into a straw basically and starts slurping away. Um Yeah, Goose, as you're trying to rapidly get this out of the way, go ahead and make a on saving throw. Yep. Right, yeah, so right. So you're doing that as a cat, right? And Irina's trying to grab you out. Yeah. Were you making a stealth were you trying to do it stealthily, Goose? I mean then make a stealth check. Um yeah, Irina, I'd say you should probably make a perception check at disadvantage, as if it's like noticing out of the corner of your eye or whatnot. Not That's true. No, Irina, that wouldn't be a disadvantage. Take the first one. Yeah, so Irina, you notice like one like and kind of pull the cat away and look in the mug and the mug's empty. Um like what was the con save, Goose? Oh right, right, yeah. So you're immune to the poison. Yeah. um as you guys are kind of doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and use a plot point. As you guys are kind of doing that over at a table, like this, there is basically this. It's just one kind of long table, and a group of people by the table. You notice there's you notice that, well, Captain Wilhelm Reaver is here, along with Seamus Stormbrewer, as they also joined the Spelljamming Corps, and there you hear them kind of cheer and clank tankards together, with another person. There's this this tabaxi woman, wearing, who's just kind of, wearing a leather jacket that, it's not fully a greatcoat. It like comes down to like halfway past the thighs, and it's got a tall collar, but it like closes in the front, and the collar surrounds the neck. Kind of a Mandarin collar, if you know what that is. Kind of not quite a turtleneck, but before like turtleneck kind of thing. As it double-breasted and closes down the side. The closure actually twists around the side, and then like the last buttons would be directly in the back, but instead it splits so her tail can come out. Seamus, you're from a Skullport as well, then. That is grand to meet another one who's gone through that way. She... Yes, well, it's, the Nether-AC ruin is, one of the best places to, smuggle through, and this is always a, valuable thing to be, finding new places. The stars are a great way to get away from all the, guidelines, the red tape happening in the oceans down below. You can, Goose and Irina, you know what? No. Irina. I'm gonna... something... moment. I'm going to deafen everyone else, so... Irina, you notice a... Oh, I just... you notice... I can only be hurt. You get... You speak again? Okay, yeah, it should be fixed now. I think. Yeah. Love it when this happens. Guess that's set to... Okay, sorry, speak again.
Words.
Okay, yeah, I know what happened. For some reason my audio for you guys was just set for my desktop, so it was just the music playing again. Whoops.
Oh.
Okay. But yeah, as as you are looking at this pirate, or this perhaps privateer woman, you can't quite tell, you notice a pendant. A pendant that you've seen before. I'm gonna ask you what the symbol is in a second. It's a pendant that you, one time when you were looking through your mother's possessions, scavenging around, seeing what you find, you managed to pry open and find a few things. One of which was a pendant that looks exactly this, and a piece of paper with a drawing of a flag, drawing Audrey. Remind me what all your mother, what all you knew about your.
She doesn't know much. She would tell stories that seemed like she knew the characters personally, and so Irina suspected it was her past, but anytime she addressed them, that was brushed over.
Okay. And were they stories of buckling or form?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You always wondered if they were just trinkets of hers to go along with those stories, but now, well, one of those trinkets has come up in the. Deafening.
Shazam!
Goose, I'd like you to make an insight check. But Fighter, you're the one below me. So, there is the, so Seamus and Wilhelm are talking to this, this cat woman, this tabaxi woman who, also has done some sailing down the, underground rivers at Skullport. Somewhat dark reflection of water, and known as a pirate haven. What complication would you like to add to that?
Given my profession, would I know anything specific about dealings that happen there?
Actually, you probably ran magic items through there. Back when you were managing to do that trade before things got down.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
you would actually, specifically from your experience with that trade, you would know that it is completely, like, the town itself is under the control of Xanathar. It's pretty much a Xanathar.
I'm gonna say that Fighter recognizes this pirate lady as someone that he's either ripped off or decided not to sell to at like the last second at one point because someone else gave him a better deal.
Love that. Yeah. Yeah. Goose, what was that insight check?
I apologize, I was muted. That's 21.
21. Yeah, so you you can tell that Irina there is Irina, do you want to describe uh the look that Goose sees in your eyes? What he
Just like sometimes the haunted one part of me, like, isn't as obvious when I'm more cheerful and stuff, but then there are times where I just stare off and they're like just completely dissociated, no emotion or anything. No movement from the corner of my eyes can really deter me, and it's just blank.
Irina has the 1,000 yards there.
The 1,000-yardist.
More pale than usual.
And who is?
I
who
just
is-
disappear.
Ah.
Just,
Just
yeah.
a second. Who
Okay.
is she looking at?
the cat pirate
Gotcha.
or privateer or whatever.
I like kind of float over towards this cat lady. And just
Yeah,
kind of like float up. I'm so sorry.
So sorry for what?
I just tried to get your attention. What is your name?
I am, well, Helia, you will?
Mhm.
The, R is just in the throat.
Gotcha.
And you?
Are you? Oh, well, you are probably here for the. Or are you here for the graduation, or? Because it so happens I'm one of the graduatees.
Ah, well, I am here for the graduation is, well, not quite. I'm here to be a captain. The
Mm.
graduation is one way to be a captain, or just starting as a captain and having, well, Fred would say, can also get you there.
Mm.
I,
Yeah, I've noticed that there are a couple people that are here. Not exactly like people from outright the spell jamming, but more getting in through credentials. I'm terribly sorry. What did you say? Like you're a captain before this?
yes, well, I'm, I've done various things and privateered, he winks at that, with
He'll like
much success.
nervously kind of like break eye contact when she winks at him.
I've often been based out of Skullport recently, which is what your friend here was discussing about. I hear you recently went on a journey together, and they all graduated with you.
Oh yeah. Well, it went sort of as a bit of a wager that we wouldn't be capable of bringing back evidence of. You know, it's not entirely that fascinating, but it ended up with a delightful fireworks show.
That it has. I heard that it has made the 3 captains in the Spelljammer Corps, hasn't it? And this
I
Fable,
believe there were 4 of us. Actually.
Fable the Third. Oh,
Uh,
well, it made. So you got. There are 3 ships, right? There's
yeah.
Fable the Third, who
Oh.
will be able to be a captain when they get access to a ship, to a Spelljammer helm. There is And then there's your 2 ships.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah, 1 captain
Oh.
per ship.
Goose,
Yes, my apologies.
I asked you a question and Discord just said.
Yep, just 1 second.
Sorry.
He is on Mayhem, for the record.
Okay.
As actually, Goose will pull out an elegant looking flower, almost like a rose, but with like subtle like differences and that sort of thing. Like it looks rare, and it's intended to look that way. So he'll offer it and be like, well, a rose for the other feline figure in the room.
Thank you.
Irina's gonna go over to Goose and like, so she's basically gonna take the collar off of Mayhem.
He's not wearing a collar right now.
Where the fuck is he? Can I try and figure out where he is?
So Irina, Mayhem is the one. Is Mayhem the one talking to?
No, Goose is speaking to him through Mayhem, or to her through Mayhem.
Okay, yeah. So, like, Irina, kind of as you walk over towards that, like, the captain does kind of like look at you for a moment and just kind of an expression goes on her face a second, and she kind of looks back.
Did she take the rose?
Yes. As she's taking. Why, thank you very much. Beautiful decoration. Cats of a feather much stick together, I suppose.
Goose.
Oh. Hey, sis.
She tosses the rose onto the table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have to go.
Oh. What's... Is it time for, like, the graduation or something?
Sure.
Okay. See you around. And he'll float, like, off towards, like, wherever Irina's trying to take him.
Well, it depends
Irina
on whether or
pushes
not
him a
they
little bit.
join this little cabaret.
It's a little bit of a sibling thing. You don't mind, right?
Well, not at all. Saying hi and saying bye.
Bye. He'll give, like, a little, like,
Hey.
wave, like...
Push him again.
Okay.
As you guys kind of walk off and leave, you can tell she's like she lingers watching Irina for a bit before turning back to the captain, or to Abel the Third, Wilhelm, and Stormers, Seamus Storm.
I'll look at Irina. Are you okay?
Don't talk to her.
I have to talk to her in order to understand who she is.
You don't need to.
I don't... We're supposed to be talking to everyone, kind of getting, like, acquainted with all the other captains and people.
Whatever. Do what you want. And I storm off.
As you're beginning to leave, you hear like a clink 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 of someone hitting their knife against their. Irina, do you even glance back, or do you just banquet?
Give myself some distance between them, but I feel like there's some reason I'm supposed to stay.
Yeah, you kind of like you look over and you can it's Therian. This man who is wearing He's wearing something that seems almost as if it's a almost like yeah. So he's wearing a what a white vest with kind of uh golden trim. The back is lined with purple. He has a purple shirt on under that with white cuffs. Again, lined with gold trim. His collar kind of popped up. He has like a um, he has a purple collar from his shirt, but then his vest also has a white collar. Outside of that, both of them are popped with a cape that kind of has like kind of squares off the shoulders a little bit before back. His the white in his outfit starkly contrasts mocha skin, which in turn contrasts his pure white hair, which is of not fully slicked back, but brought back into a just into a neat hair with a Van Dyke style mustache, handlebar mustache, and thin goatee, almost that just starkly contrasts. Yeah. Smooth. He does have a. He does have a. Like basically one of those like jeweler like eye, things, but it's like looks like it's just attached into his temple that he can just swivel down, um, over his eye, which the eye itself does like it has lenses.
Um, as a
Uh,
side note, oh my
yeah.
bad. I was just gonna say if I can attempt to eavesdrop through the rows on this
Right, yeah.
Tabaxi
I
lady.
figured.
That conversation has ended as the clinking of the glass.
I just meant if she
Yeah,
continues talking after or
right.
anything.
I
Now,
am.
I welcome each and every one of you to accept a kind gift and offering from the Therian Corporation. As Mert the Merciless knows, he kind of waves to Mert as Mert kind of like raises his goblet of fine wine, kind of gives it a swig. Each and every crew in the Spelljammer Corps receives a start and benefit of Thunderarm from myself as patron of this fine corps. I do wish to work as closely and provide each and every one of you with as firepower as you might need in the coming time. There. Starting now with this wave of captains joining up, mercenaries, privateers, and, well, privateers. He as well winks when he says that. Will, of course, need your arm. And as celebration of that, some representatives from my company will be at the Spelljamming Corps at this very academy to educate anyone who might need any assistance on understanding how thunder arms, thunder powder, and any other thunder technology might work. I hope each of you will enjoy your very own gifts of a small arsenal delivered to each of your ships, even the ones that are still being made. As oh, sorry, Goose. Yeah.
He's like announcing this to like the whole
Yep.
group type area.
Yep. He
okay.
like got up and kind of gave a speech to everyone.
Gotcha. I'll allow like not try and interject.
Right. To a clean shot, need you blast an illithid in the face. He says as he raises a goblet, as then you it's like, hurrah! The most of the captains say Mert kind of leading it, as then and to gun down any attacking Githyanki pirates. And he raises again, and at this point, all of the captains at once, without any kind of delay, hurrah!
And then I'll chime in and go, and to knock out those Thay son of a bitches.
As I would like you to go ahead and make a yeah,
Please
go ahead and
tell
make
me
a
charisma.
persuasion check. A charisma persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Absinthe is going to chime in with, and to take pirate testicles.
I'm
Please
having a
don't.
panic attack.
Natural 20.
Natural 20 as yeah, all like the all of the pirates
Hold
are
on.
like, or all of the captains turn over towards you, Goose, and are like hurrah, hurrah, and kind of shout out like you know it. Some of them are saying like you get the loudest cheer with that last one.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. And
I'm a badass motherfucker.
And Therion himself also hosts to that. He says, here. And kind of like takes a slow drink and looks at you for perhaps a second too, before sitting back down and the conversation begins to.
I don't even give him the pleasure of my eye contact. I don't even look at him when I say it.
As yeah, Irina's just in the corner having a panic attack as everyone's cheering.
Actually, I kind of smirk at the cat lady.
She like, I mean, she smiles, but she doesn't seem to get the right. She doesn't get to seem to get why there's a smirk there, but she does smile.
No, I was attempting to make it look flirtatious, but
oh sure, yeah. I mean,
just
yeah,
a tiny tabaxi.
right, yeah. I mean,
With wings, don't think about it.
yeah, she. There's a look in her eyes or whatnot. I don't know. I'm not gonna bother describing
No,
the facial expression.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yep. As that's kind of what happens at the dinner there. Yeah, Irina.
I was gonna say, when I get somewhere where I'm alone, I just curl up into a ball and shaking, and I don't know why.
Yeah. So like, the dinner goes on without incident, and yeah, Irina, you kind of go and find basically like as people start trickling out, Irina, you're one of the first to yeah, or actually yeah, so you kind of as things are kind of trickling out, and you listening to the conversation, it's just kind of vague conversation about Skullport. You hear you do hear the name Jarlaxle Van Ray kind of talked about, but he's just like as a pirate who has recently come in. suddenly be piracy in that area. Some people
Would I
say he's
have
like a king elsewhere.
would I have any insight into like some of the stuff they're talking about from my sailor background?
Not
Is Gerald Axel the guy that I interacted with?
yes,
Ah.
Mm.
but
Good
you
interaction, bad?
would probably not. This is just like this is Skullport, which was specifically it's specifically like smugglers and pirates. In Skullport. Like Mist Shore is seedy, but it's not explicitly pirates and smugglers only. There's a lot of them, but it's not explicitly only that. Skullport is
Gotcha.
specifically for it is the largest pirate haven on Sword Coast, so you would like know its name in that sense. But like kind of in the way that like Nassau is, or in real life, or like Tortuga in Pirates of the Caribbean, where like it's just this mythical pirate place. As yeah, as Irina, you're one of the first to trickle out. You once you can, you head down the and to quickly find yourself in spell jamming. You're in a room. This room, it's filled with books with multiple levels, ornate decoration. As you look at the massive bay windows, you can see you basically like come into this area that has like candelabras and golden decoration, scroll on very and there is an observatory, a dome where you can see stars and the clouds of phlogiston nebula that swirl around. At this time, these clouds are a vibrant blue with flashes of pink. A massive, a spiral staircase leads up to a platform with a massive telescope that looks out from the dome, with below the dome, floor to ceiling windows.
Oh
Astral.
no, not the pink.
Though it doesn't quite make sense for you to be able to see. And even this view does not match the view rest. Fire. Here.
Did the lady take the rose with her?
Yes.
Okay.
A slight rushing sound. The magical clouds by that.
Goose will, Goose will like, as everyone's trickling out, where is the cat lady just outright leaving, or is?
The cat lady, like as things are getting done, she's she is actually as she stands up, I'd say like she at first is seeming to forget the do you as she would just be getting up to like leave with Seamus and Wilhelm. They're just still talking. But as things are trickling out, she's getting up to leave with them and would actually be getting up with them.
Gotcha. As she gets to get up, can I try and like roll a little bit, like to kind of like roll into her view? Like,
Yeah, you want
kind of
to-
like try and disguise it with like the bumping of the table as like she's getting up and that sort of thing.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and make a dexterity deception check.
Hmm.
Oh boy, what is?
You are trying to make it look like as there are kind of bumps on the table, you're trying to time it with those.
Right. Okay. Actually, I don't. That does drop it by 1. So that instead of being a 23, is a 22. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. As yeah, it kind of rolls and she's, oh, don't want to forget that. And picks it up. Where were we? As she continues walking with the captains. Yeah, basically they're going up towards their ship.
Gotcha.
Or actually no, because up is the spell dock, so they'd be going down. And they're just heading down.
Can I try, like, can Goose, like, as the cat, trying to catch up with Irina? Or, like, find where she is?
Irina, are you trying to stay alone?
I'm not actively trying to lose him because I can't concentrate on that right now.
Okay, yeah.
Would Hem be concerned?
Then yeah, Goose, you'd be able to look around. Like, when the, like, dinner party essentially is ending, you look around and you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And as it's ending, you do go and for her. First, Irina, you are alone in the neck. Alone with this view of the inside of a nebula. Alone. Thoughts. What are you doing?
Just trying to not have thoughts. For some reason, it seems like my mind's trying to remember something painful, but I don't want to.
Go ahead. Make a willpower saving. Don't have willpower down.
I think that means it's a 10.
Yeah, I think so too. So it would be just a flat roll.
What does that mean?
Just what's on the 20, the d20.
Okay. Damn. I'm not doing too good. I got
As you attempt memories from mind, but very difficult. It's really possible to do anything. Comes to your mind one of your mother's like to say what that story is.
I don't know enough about this world.
It's a fantasy world. You mess up, then you didn't mess up. That's now canon. How it works. It's all our world.
Um, just
Just
a like group of like good pirates that would go on it on an adventure, I guess, and meet not such good people. Don't know.
Did you say B?
Meet.
Yeah. You remember story your mother told about Commodore Calicote, a pirate captain that went swashbuckling through the seas, through the stars, through the plains. Though he never assumed. As stories were different. This particular story, any story about him seemed so far away. But there were some stories about him when a certain crew met him. Seemed so much closer. As if she was remembering the story, not. And though he was always painted well, and the titular pirate crew was always painted. Some of the other pirates that followed well, were depicted as a vicious. As those thoughts, the vicious, cruel sort, those words of your mother's, they always seemed so distant. So distant and yet vicious. That vicious. Your mind is synonymous. Crackling. The door to this Nexus observatory opens. At Irina? What does Goose see? Does mayhem?
Like, curled up on the floor, like, and like sitting against, like, right up next to the big window from the like that goes to the floor, and I just have my hand on my head and just like staring and shaking.
Irina? Hey, Irina, are you? What's going on? Are you okay? I like
I
try and take her hand.
don't know.
Did you know that, like that tabaxi?
I don't think so. I shouldn't. I don't. It's. I don't understand it.
You're just getting a little bit flustered about it, and like, uh, what what do you think you know? Like,
It's crazy.
I'm a talking cat that can fly and shoot stones at Mach 7,
I.
and also our dad is who our dad is.
I swear she's someone from a story.
Like stories from that Hurix told, or
I.
I mean, Viral wasn't really one for stories, but
Well,
your mom. Is this a good figure in the story?
no.
Well, um, she does have a certain rose that could potentially cause her a little bit of misfortune if it is like that type of situation.
Goose is. No, I don't want him hurt.
What? I'm
I
I'm not
don't
gonna
want
get
him to get
hurt.
hurt.
I'm not gonna get hurt. I saw the way you were looking. Figured maybe getting some dirt on her might be easier if my ears were closer. She did she is like on her way to her ship though.
Do I need to get you back?
No. I've escaped from one pirate ship, I've escaped from another. But do you wanna like if she's not a good person, what did she do? What is the story?
Um, it's,
And
it's kind of jumbled.
would getting some of the stress and fear of the memory out of the way help?
Maybe.
I didn't hear that. My bad.
Maybe.
He'll like hold up his hand towards her with like a little bit of like an arcane energy, like kind of pooling in his palm. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
I'll cast calm emotions on her. as I put my hand on her forehead, like kind of like back of the hand, almost like checking for a fever. Wave of calm. If she chooses to let it take effect, a wave of calm will subtly control the emotions to an extent that she shouldn't be hindered by them as much. How do you feel?
Better, yes. Yeah.
Well, does do you see the story any clearer? Is she a pirate? Kind of figured she was a pirate.
Trying more.
Of course, know your backstory. And this is, you guys know your backstory better than I do. By all means, just up. I will get with Irina if you say stuff, and then I can take that and with it. But make the story your own. Backstory on it. Tell stuff like those tales how you want it. Especially since those are tales that your mother told, right? If something is fundamentally wrong about how it interacts with the world, stories.
I realized, if Midnight wants, I do have a bit of a suggestion, considering we've worked together on each other's backstories and that sort of thing. If she wants to check her DMs and see if she wants to go with that avenue.
Well, I think that's kind of where it's going.
I mean, that is kind of a thing that happened at some point.
Yeah, it's the stories of that.
Oh. Well, or are you saying, or what do you say in character to describe that?
Oh,
Or,
she's,
yeah, my bad.
she trades people for money.
The trading. She slaves. How did your mom know her?
Story. It was just a story, I thought.
Would for the record, would I have like any inkling of like these stories as well from growing up with Irina?
You
It
didn't
was
grow up
after
in
her
the
mother
house.
was around, but
I don't think so. I mean, it would be between you, but
Yeah,
I
you
understand.
weren't in that house.
yeah, I didn't know if Hurix would have told the same stories at times.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, What do you mean you thought they were stories? If that's the right lady, like, who else were these stories about?
It was just a crew of pirates. They were portrayed as good. I haven't really thought about it in a long time, but I don't know.
It, is this like? Does this have to do with like how they disappeared?
I don't know.
Well, we can go get answers if you want.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I'm completely broken down right now. I didn't even interact with her.
Not right now. You've got, I'd say, probably about a minute, but me and Absinthe can go talk to her and figure this out.
I want to know more, but I'm scared.
No, you're not. And even if you are, you know I'll be here.
Does say passes over. Lingering effect. Not make those.
Yeah. It makes them manageable. She can't do anything to us. You know I won't let that happen. Absinthe won't let that happen. Hell, Fighter's here.
Would they be willing to do that for me? For something that's a hunch I don't even know?
Are you? Yeah. Yes, they would. Absolutely. Irina, they care about you just as much as I do. And some of them legitimately, like, they watch after you just as much as I do. Some of them when I'm not even here. They're
Why?
our friends.
They're my friend?
Yeah.
I thought they were your friends.
I only have very few friends. But they're your friends for sure.
Okay. Pull him in for a hug.
Wrap the cat wings around as well for a hug. Let's go talk to him.
Okay.
We'll go try and find Absinthe and Fighter.
Yeah. You're kind of heading out. Later. Figured out how you know this woman.
Possibly Absinthe too.
Fighter, you I mean, you are here, right, Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same logic as Zygarians. Star Wars.
All right. Oh, all right.
Yeah, this would be a specific Zygarian.
Yeah.
A specific one that might have formed that wrong uh
Oh, she's gone. That's not a question. That's a
Um,
she's not leaving here alive.
as yeah. So at this point, I would figure that essentially we
Is
like
Absinthe here?
Absinthe. Are you? You're in the call.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Uh,
I would say probably a good place for Irina to find Irina and Goose to find Silvery, Absinthe, and Fighter. Um,
I don't
is
believe Silvery is still.
basically
Oh, she is. I just couldn't see
Here.
her.
is
My bad.
basically you guys all like basically kind of like watch Fighter kind of storm off a bit and like would have followed him or otherwise ended up down Astral Dock and are just kind of watching Fighter like rep his crew, or like the crew that he arrived on, and just like, I mean, Fighter like
We're gonna need
does
room
that
for one more.
does that sound like a
She's
good
coming back in chains.
does that sound like
Oh,
a
oh
good
yes. Oh
description
yes.
from no,
If we're coming,
I'm asking the others.
oh okay.
Like Absinthe, Sillery, and does that seem like a good step in the story?
Yeah, I think it does.
As a rule, whenever an officer of ours heads to a place like this, like for a gathering or something, there's at least a squad of rangers there as
Yep.
emergency support.
Yeah. So like you kind of have essentially a schooner.
Nice.
So like smallest class. Be able to.
So I imagine as he's walking off, he has a
I'm gonna fuck him up.
not
Look.
his typical jovial look on his face, just like a, oh, this is business.
Yeah, exactly.
The serious look you very rarely see, even when he's going on a mission.
The only thing
Yeah.
where I think I may have seen this look is when he went after Blue. He hates Blue. I shall follow.
I don't even think it was like that for this or for
Nope.
then.
Yeah. So
This is mask mode.
This has become more serious than that. So Fighter, go ahead and like as Absinthe and Celery are watching you from the pier, just like watching you like get your ship in order. Describe what you're doing.
Essentially, Fighter is standing on the main dock, like where the ship is docked, right next to like the is it like a what do you call the thing where like a ship connects to the port and then there's the walkway?
Mm-hmm.
So basically we're standing in front of that.
I think.
Yeah. And there's like 5 fairly well-armed dudes with Grey Raven symbols on their shoulders, and you see very clearly he's clipping his shoulder plate on that has the same symbol. And you can tell from their demeanor it's very much so oh, got it. We're gonna mess someone up. You explicitly hear, well, gentlemen, we're gonna need room for one more, and they're not gonna come quietly.
Is this when Irina and Goose are kind of like catching up with them or finding them?
Yeah. As I'll give a little bit of time with just
Yeah, my bad.
With Absinthe and Celery. You're kind of like watching this. At the moment, you're on the pier. How do you react? Goose is you can just hear over the noise of the docks Goose saying that they're going to have an unwilling guest coming.
You mean Fighter?
Sorry,
Mhm.
Fighter.
Shame on you.
Oh, Mr. Fighter, what do we have going on?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh. Little memory hit me while we were sitting at the dinner. little friend of ours that was sitting with our old friend Wilhelm. Little someone I need to have a chat with. A fairly brutal chat about some things that I really hate thinking about.
Oh, do you need some testicle taken chats?
Unfortunately, I don't think this one has testicles. But anyone tries to stop us that does, you can have them.
Polymorph is a
taking?
lovely spell.
Well, I suppose
Goose
instead of
isn't there.
testicles, we'll take the chesticles.
You can tell when fighters laughing. This isn't like, haha, that's funny. That's like,
Well, that's a
I'm gonna
minute
rip your
laugh.
face off. Not explicitly like he's being hostile to you, but like he's in the zone. Like this like coping mechanism tier,
Oh,
trying
no.
to keep himself sane while thinking about this.
Just a cruel laugh rather than jovial.
I'm gonna look at you very concerned and be like, "Are you okay?"
No, I'm not. And I'm gonna make the person who made me not okay even worse.
I see. Can I help?
Oh, every gun's a good gun. As he like pats you on the shoulder a little bit forcefully. You-
I'm gonna like fall backwards a little and be like, "Okay, let's do this. What's going on though?"
As
Hmm.
at this point, Goose and Irina will come.
Yep.
I still look not so good, but
Yeah. I will say, as you passed the barracks, Irina, whether or not you grabbed your coat would grab you.
No.
okay, I didn't know I had my
Russia.
coat
That's so
off.
sweet.
As we
Right.
sorry,
Go ahead.
arriving at the docks, and Goose will look to look to Absinthe and them. There's someone we need to find. Well, we need to talk with him.
Could it be a certain little kitty? Cause I've got first
Oh.
dibs on the little kitty.
I think we might be able to share an appointment. Should I make arrangements?
Oh, we're making arrangements right now, aren't we, gentlemen? Aren't we? You hear like 5 fairly well-armored rangers just as they're like loading thunder arms.
I'm looking
mean-
back and forth between everyone because I still not really sure what's going on, but I'm here for it.
I mean, they could also come willingly.
Well, you see, there's a time for talk, and then there's the kind of person where you don't really want to talk to them. And of course, you know me. I would never commit an act of violence without reason.
No,
And
you
well,
don't have to. You don't have to talk to him at all.
Oh, no, but I need some information from them, and they're going to give it to me whether they like it or not.
Yeah, I could help with that.
A
Very good, very good. Let's go, shall we?
a piece of paper kind of like slips down and like falls out of Irina's coat pocket and just kind of like drifts over like towards your feet, fighter.
Mm-hmm. I like notice it mid. Ooh, what's that?
Look at it.
Oh no.
That is the invitation. The invitation to this gala, which was at the very bottom, which now appears to be highlighted in red pen, circled in pen, is any captain or a crew accepting this invitation will do so peacefully. There will be no fighting amongst the captains on the way to, from, or during their stay at Spelljammer Academy Spire. Anyone who does not follow this parlay agreement will be not only banned from the Spelljamming Academy, banned from the Spelljammer Corps, but also be made ineligible for any parlays related to Spelljamming. Fighter, you would know that the Spelljamming Corps has quickly become the most powerful mercenary coalition when it comes to spelljamming ships. They basically have a monopoly on spelljamming. So that's interplanar travel.
Fighter looks at this. You can see there's visible seething rage in his eyes as he's reading this. As like his hand begins to shake. Just like crunching down to the point where like the paper starts to expand a little bit because he's crunching it.
Fighter. Oh, what is
Looks
it?
like
Read
we're gonna need
exactly?
to follow someone home.
No. I mean, they already kind of like me. They may come willingly with me.
Well,
And once we've left and are well on our way.
Let me be completely clear. I need some information from this person. And
Oh, they'll be very open to any discussion that we really need. I think as long as this goes well.
Good. I will attempt to restrain my visceral hatred for this person in particular. And
yes, the less often you punch them, hurt them, or that sort of thing within the next 8 hours would be ideal.
Now, if we were to have this discussion and, oh, they come back with us, yeah, that'd be great. And then we don't hear from them ever again. Would that technically violate the little stipulation here? If they left with us of their own free will and made it back to wherever supposedly and then they just disappeared?
Possibly.
I mean, of course,
Or-
assuming that we don't, per se, keep them there until parlay is passed.
No, what is the expiration on that agreement on the paper?
It says to and from, and while we're here.
To, from, and while we're here. Can you get back to Waterdeep within 8 hours?
More than likely. What do you say, gentlemen? Yeah, probably. That sounds about right, sir.
Yeah, sure. Travel times are kind of vague. Generally, like, I would suggest, when it comes to stating travel times, just leaving it vague. I'm assuming this is probably due to a spell. However, why you're asking about 8 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
This'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. May I ask what the spell is?
Suggestion.
Okay. Yeah. 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 You. Oh. Sounds as if Goose is going. Is Goose going to the Tabaxi Captain Hyria?
Do we want her to come to us?
Well, that'd be ideal.
Well, I may be able to help with that. Let me double check something real quick. Doodah. There we go. I'll be right back. And Goose will warp out.
Be careful.
If I lose this, I don't know if I'll forgive you.
That's okay. It's nothing any magically enhanced therapy can't help.
Funny you
I
think
will
that.
I will apparate like what can I see from where the captain has me?
The captain would have you.
I
I'm
guess
just
this
gonna
should
roll
technically
for
be
it.
before.
I mean, someone could use a plot point to, like, say, well, yeah, if somebody wanted to, they could use a plot point to say that, like, say how the captain is carrying you, or I can just roll for it to decide whether or not you're in a bag, or, like, held on a lapel.
Damn.
Yeah, okay. Roll for it then.
I'm trying to debate on what is a reasonable. I feel like I'll use a plot point to kind of like say like she'd probably be like kind of like looking out one of the windows, kind of like curiously looking at the rose, or like.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Just kind of contemplating. Yeah, so at this point she would be down at
She's gonna be down to leave with us, is what's going to happen.
yeah. Yeah, currently she'd be kind of on the she'd be in a guest room on the administration level of Astral Dock. And yeah, so she's in her room. You can basically, using that plot point, you can like you'll be in control of the rooms and like in to
Okay.
the window. But yeah, so she's looking out the window, and Irina, you would get to add a complication to that, as she is in her guest quarters, looking at holding the rose. I believe Goose had actually said specifically at the rose.
Yeah, probably like in a contemplating fashion, sort of thing. Like, probably like, who the fuck was this tiny cat thing?
Um. Huh. Um. Tosses it on the bed. And then she has to change.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I mean, she did just come from a party and presumably possibly sail after that.
Mm.
Yeah. So as this pirate captain beginning to undress from the party, and Rose has been tossed to the bed.
This would I feel like Goose would probably wait until like avoid like looking until after she's done dressing, and then apparate mayhem like through the set like to the side of the window, as you can see out from like the bed, and like the cat figure will like float by conveniently after she's fully clothed and knock on like tap on the side of the window, just kind of like floating there.
Yeah. As yeah, she just kind of like looks at the window, and you're outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just kind of outside in the astral sea.
Or does this window open? Or look like it does?
There's not really any reason for it to open. This window actually kind of seems more like it's less glass and more like it's some other kind of almost maybe a natural crystal that has like been grown to meet the earth
Gotcha.
walls.
Knock on the door, weirdo.
I was trying to do some Peter Pan shit, okay?
It is a little bit faceted. She kind of like looks over at the cat in space. I will say, like, before you tap on it, you would realize that. And,
yeah.
You would kind of, at this point, probably be close to running out of air.
Then I'll just de-apparate, because... yeah, and
after
then...
you do foof, like, at the window, you do notice that she kind of, like, from the rose, you notice she kind of looks over the window, like, the cat is gone. Almost reacting to...
Like a weird... yeah. Can I apparate behind the front door?
Like, in her room, or...
No, like in the hallway outside.
Okay, so what are you using to apparate, right?
Just the pulling in and out of the, like, pocket demi-plane that familiars can be pulled in and out of.
Right, I think they need to be, like, I think they need to be connected to the source, right?
Connected to the source? No, I think it's within 30 feet. Let me double check. Find familiar.
Like, within line of sight, within 30...
I think so. Let me double check.
And you wouldn't be able to outside the door.
Reappear in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. It doesn't say that you can see.
Okay, yeah, then you'd be able to do it outside the door.
Awesome. And he'll, like, now that he can see and he knows he's in a position where it makes more sense, is just kind of like floating there, like knock on the door.
Yeah. As yeah, she heads over to the door, opens it up. Oh, oh. Hello.
Hey. Sorry to bother you if you were bedding down. I was curious if you'd be interested in a walk.
Bother at all. She is, I'd say she probably would have, like, changed into, like, more comfortable, almost night wear.
Mhm.
But she does kind of, like, just grab her coat and throw it over herself.
Is there does the coat happen to be on the bed where like the rose would stick to it? Or could attempt to stick to it?
That is, I mean, yeah, you had used the plot point to introduce the room, so
That's fair.
yeah, you can say that she had tossed it there. Yeah, she kind of picks it up and you gone.
Yep. Onto like the back sort of area. And wonderful. Um so I was mildly curious about like just I've always wanted to go sailing and I got this opportunity. What's it like on the open seas? And like kind of trying
Yeah.
to like make small conversation for a moment.
Yeah, as she's walking with you. Are you walking straight towards the astral docks?
Um kind of just like a general like walk around for a moment before
Yeah, yeah.
heading to the astro, like asking if I'll say when I want to start going towards the astral ships.
Yeah. Well, the open seas are. They're freeing. One whole lot less forgiving. There's nothing there to coddle those who are needing.
Hmm.
See, she does not forgive.
I know a lot of people like that. Well, um I've never seen an astral ship, or like a not an astral ship but like the ones that like actually go on the ocean. um do you have yours here? I meant to ask earlier.
You've only sailed the stars.
Uh, Oddly enough, yes. Bit of a landlubber in terms of water. Doesn't
Odd
go well with
time.
feathers.
Odd thing to skip that you can skip now. Well,
Well, it tends to cling to my feathers. It's a little odd.
well, I do have skip more than docks below.
Would you be possibly willing to give a cute cat a tour? He's kind of like half floating, like
I
sideways.
I don't see why not. Speaking that, I am Commodore. I used to sail under. Well, for a while there, he had turned himself into completely a cat. Grand Tabaxi.
Oh, I
You're
haven't
not.
actually.
Are you along the same line of being? Or is
Uh,
this just
sorry.
what you are?
In terms of being a tabaxi, or
Something else turned to cat. Fine.
uh, the flying and wings is a bit of a a nifty touch from the arcane, but originally just a bit of a dwarfed side of Tabaxi.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Yep, I was looking. Actually, not dice. This one. That is a 5 on the dice, but that is a 15 total.
All right.
Sorry, hold
Kind
on.
of-
No, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, she kind of raises an eyebrow. Really? Yeah. Smallest I've ever seen. But by all means. Sure.
Wonderful.
As, yep. She, the two of you head down to Astral Dock.
That is where Irina and Fighter and all of them are
Yes,
as well, right?
that's where Fighter's ship is moored. Each of you, your ship, your turtle ship, is moored at the Spell Dock, at the opposite end.
Yep. Does she just proceed to give me a tour of the ship and that sort of thing? Or I guess first, do I see Fighter or any of them down there?
Yeah, as she's kind of heading towards her ship, you do look over and you see Fighter's ship. You see, essentially, they're ready to.
I just hold up on the other side of my body, just a finger for a 1.
Right.
To hold.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone on that other ship, on Fighter's ship, with look over, you see that. How are you guys reacting?
Don't make me cast calm emotions over there.
Fighter is trying very, very hard to keep his head on straight and not cause a scene. And he's doing it. He's doing an okay job at it.
Awesome.
Any other reactions? Or are you?
I'm anxiously watching.
Absinthe is just lost. He's just here to support his friends.
Yeah.
I'm also lost and just
Possibly intoxicated.
It was a party, of course you are.
And,
Oh yeah, I gave him
I only
the
drank a
top
half a
notch.
bottle.
It was
Yeah.
the top notch shit though. I asked specifically for that.
So Goose, you are she does take you to her ship and she can show you around. It's a simple rigged ship. You're very familiar.
Yep, I know. I try and act, or I just kind of don't interrupt. Just kind of allow her to continue with the tour. Make comments of some of them being similar to ships I've flown. Wink.
Yeah.
I have, but and towards the end, I'll my apologies. I actually have a couple of friends that I was going to be meeting up with later tonight. If you don't mind, I'd suggest you come along with us, and I'll cast suggestion.
Right, yeah.
Come
By the
with
way,
us. This is in order.
with her tour, she did not she basically told you nothing about the ship itself, and mostly just told you about the rigging, and then went off on a rabbit trail about stories of people swinging on the rigging and fighting in sword fights and stuff like that. It wasn't. This is how ships work. It was
Right.
regaling you of tales.
I'll
but
regale tales of the sailing the 7 stars.
the tale of the exploding ship. Um,
And the asteroid. Okay, I've
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
put that one in there too, even
As,
though it was only in a simulation.
as
He doesn't have to know that.
as you suggest that, I believe she needs to make a saving throw.
Yep, wisdom saving throw, please.
That would be a willpower
Oh,
Yeah.
because it's a mind affecting spell. Oh,
yeah.
cool. That's a nat 20.
Oh,
Oh dear.
No.
Of all the times.
Oh no.
As suggestion, what components does
I
it
believe
just verbal?
It is the verbal and
Material.
a bit of. Oh,
Okay.
is it material?
Yes, a snake's tongue and either a bit of honeycomb or a drop of. As yeah, you suggest, and as you do so, the okay. So traditionally, if the spell when the spell ends, they become aware of it.
Let me check. Suggestion course of action returns duration if active complete. The shorter the spell ends when the subject finishes what you asked them to do.
Doesn't
It doesn't say that
it doesn't
they know.
say. Okay. However, I would say since they got a nat 20, I'd say you would need to make a sleight of hand.
Oh no.
Those materials to keep.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the rose on the back of her jacket that does that anyway. But
Right. Okay, then she'd have to be noticing if there is like weight shifting.
yeah,
You'd
that's
have
fair.
To be you'd have to like at the very least be spawning those items out of your like or whatever the frick out of your ring.
Yeah, out of the ring. Which is in the center of the rose. That 14 plus 7. So
21.
21.
Okay. Pulling up stats to figure out what her percent.
God.
Okay. So what was your original?
In all it was a 21.
21?
Yeah.
As yeah, so like you cast that spell and like she like as that happens, you kind of see her like she moves her head and kind of looks back as you quickly send those items back to your ring as she grabs the rose off her back. Oh,
I smile. You kept it.
little thing. Well, like it kept me. I had meant to leave it in the room.
No harm, no foul. Doesn't seem damaged.
She got a 20.
Ah. So can I proceed to attempt to make a persuasion roll? Do you want to come with some of
well,
my friends?
I'd be willing to meet them, of course. So, you had just said, like, I'm meeting some, right?
Yeah. I just said I was going to meet some
Yeah.
friends
don't
after
mind.
this at some
I
point.
don't mind.
Wonderful. Um, I'll lead her down. Is everyone like visible right next to the fucking ship, or
Not right now. We're kind of on
Kinda-
deck, just sitting around,
okay?
hiding our emotions very, very well, hiding our
Yeah,
intentions with
but
them.
this would be this would be the Shadowcast.
For a ship of, would that be sloop size?
Schooner?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
sure.
What does that look like?
Oh, what would it look like in D&D?
I mean, you could have like actually have like ravens carved into the wooding and stuff.
Yeah. I have a new banner I've been working on that I think is going to be the banner I stick with. That I'm going to show off in table 00 because I'm proud of myself. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Of course, you'd fly that on your flag.
Yeah.
You'd also, yeah, have the, I mean, yeah, we can figure out precisely what.
Yeah,
But,
that's a nice little lampshade there.
yeah. As, as you are kind of approaching the ship,
I wasn't gonna approach it yet.
oh,
I was gonna like try and walk, like kind of act like we're walking past it.
okay, yeah.
And is it like a good looking ship for the most part, or
Oh, definitely.
okay?
Yeah.
This is my baby.
As like we're walking past it, Goose will kind of like look at it and be like, "Who do you reckon owns that ship?"
Well, I don't have to reckon.
Oh, history.
Well, you could certainly disagreements on right.
Mm. I've had a couple of those in my day.
So far be it from me to badmouth some other captain who might be joining.
Oh, but if I need someone to tell me about it, I'll probably have figured it out myself. Should we take a look? I'll look at her with like a mischievous smile.
Well, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Come on. Big money, motherfucker!
What is
Natural one.
Oh no! You're doing so
Hmm.
bad tonight.
This dice roller doesn't like me.
Do I
Yeah,
see them
so-
doing this?
I mean, I will say that, like, regardless, we should probably resolve that nat one first, fighter.
Mhm.
Goose, how does this nat one manifest? Critical
Oh.
failure. May I remind you that not only this could not only be failure on your character's part, but it could be like supremely bad luck, draw attention to something you didn't want to, right?
Right.
It's just a spectacular failure for some reason.
Wait, could I silvery barbs him? Or wait, no, that's on a success. Dang it. Ah.
You could silvery barbs yourself on your like stealth roll.
No, I think it might need to be.
it does need to be someone
Yeah.
else.
Silvery Barb's
Um,
absinthe. And trying to think of like the persuasion and like
You
talking
could
to her.
basically you could like, as you try to persuade her, you're like, want to take a look, and then like as she kind of thinks, she kind of looks over and then like sees one of the crew members basically like peeking over the railing and then just ducking their head down or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I suppose because I can't think of anything else, and I don't want to like do it. Like it's not something that like does Fighter have any valuables on the ship?
Yes.
Or would there be anything visibly valuable, like through a window or something?
I mean, there's very clearly some like nice weapons and stuff in there. It's like top shelf stuff you're not seeing, but there's some
Mhm.
pretty nice stuff in there.
Would it be possible she sees that stuff and then sees someone in that same room?
Like she just like sees the room with that
Like looks
stuff.
through it? Yeah, looks through and sees like somebody like slink out of the window or like out of like an area like where he would be visible in that room. Yeah, just the
Yeah.
seeing crew
Oh
if
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
reaching too far.
I no, I get you. I see what you're saying.
The wrong type of enticing.
Yeah, as she kind of like looks over. Oh, closer look. Be very intriguing. Perhaps we should. Any eyes make a closer look. Much more revealing. Says as she turns and starts to head back towards her crew.
Oh, I can accommodate from any eyes.
Literally.
Well, pardon me, but we've just met, and as useful as your aiding in being revealing is useful and appreciated. I also know many eyes of my own that are quite exquisite. Trust comes with time.
Very well. Motherfucker.
You can like those of you on the crew can kind of like steal glances, or on the ship can steal glances and see her heading back toward.
Can I?
Well, from the looks of things, it seems like we're going to be following someone home at a nice distance. After all, parlay extends till they get back, and once they're back, all bets are off. But, well, now I've seen their face, and if I find out where they live, oh, their days are already numbered. One of these days, they're gonna go down to sleep for the night and wake up in a dungeon somewhere.
So Goose, what are you doing?
I'll let her get her crew, and like I'll come with her.
Yeah.
And like looking back, are there any lights on? Or is it like the ship completely dark?
Her ship?
No,
The Shadowcast.
the Shadowcaster, yeah.
I mean, the Shadowcaster does look. I mean, ready to leave.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say that there are necessarily like there probably wouldn't be any like lights lit below deck or anything.
Mhm.
Like maybe there's like a lantern glowing. It's ready to leave. It's not dark in the docks, like in the sea, astral dock.
Gotcha. Okay. I was curious if there would be any signs of there being like a light on in like a room or anything. Yep. But damn.
Now,
I
there
don't-
is
Yeah.
one problem with taking a closer look. Well, a little clause at the end of the invitation. Not sure if you've read it.
Oh, I happened to be here already. I just kind of went with the rest of the people that graduated with me. Why?
Well,
Did it?
She kind of takes out a piece of paper. Or no, she just says, a clause of parley. The parley extends all the way on the journey here and the journey home. However, once this Shadowcaster reaches home, parleys the closer look and, well, pilfering hand. Won't affect
Oh.
anything.
So you're insinuating maybe meet back landside and have a bit of an outing together?
Or
Maybe
you
find
could,
some hidden treasures?
join up on my crew, though I hear that the graduating class has 4 ships between.
Yeah, I don't know if I could slip away for that long. I could probably meet you down landside, but my sister would kill me if I dared try and step away for too long.
Well,
Lucky she hasn't found me this far.
we can tell the Shadowcaster once it moors. Things can happen. Of course, we must wait for it to leave.
Well, sure.
I know not when we will.
Well, if I happen to be available, I should be able to make my own way.
As we don't really have time for an encounter.
Yeah. My bad.
So that is essentially a good place to end the session. There can be a little bit more conversation between people if they want, but essentially, you guys have gotten stuck in a stalemate of the Shadowcaster is waiting to tail her ship, and she is waiting to tail the Shadowcaster.
Oh.
Yep. If I
Oh.
could, like, after, like,
Yeah.
having a like little bit more of like discussion, like small talk and that sort of thing, really get to know each other, make sure good bond is set there.
Make sure you tell me everything about her and her home
leaving-
address and where I can find her.
Does
Like,
she
make
give
her
me a
disappear.
like somewhere to kind of like be to possibly like meet up with her for this?
I mean,
You don't have to tell me legitimately where, just if she gives me a location.
yeah, ostensibly she would say that you can like meet up with her Skullport.
Gotcha.
And then basically after she tails the Shadowcaster for a while, figures out where it moors, then you guys can go and attack.
Okay.
Or like try to plunder Shadowcaster. With that,
I will
say... Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
I like at the end of the night when I do get a chance to like bid her farewell. I will the rose like at some point will turn into a bit of a collar instead,
Yeah.
and he'll kind of like clip it on like
Yeah.
at some point, just kind of like I have to get going before my friends and stuff, like I said, end up uh, going on about business for the night without me, and kind of make my exit that way.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'll go invisible and go find them
Yeah.
and
So
fill them in on the plan.
yeah, you all know the situation and the plan. I will say fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have? We can enter like text based RP to fully decide it.
Yeah.
But before you submit the log sheet for this session, you should decide whether or not you were like, yep, I'm gonna sign up with the Spelljammer Mercenary Confederation. To be clear, it's not like it's not if you're a captain signing up with it, it's not that you are like being like I'm giving away
Legally
my authority
obligated.
to you or whatnot. It's more of a confederation between these mercenaries to protect the planet and space.
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think I'd sign that
Okay, yeah. So you
with the
would
intention of drawing anyone in if I need help.
right, yeah. So you would have you would gain 5 Spelljammer renown, which does bring you to upperclassman or crew member rank. But in order to get ship's officer, which is the rank that you'd actually be,
Sup?
like they'd help you get a Spelljammer helm at that point. That's renown 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
No.
generally you should only be gaining Spelljammer renown in like when you're specifically doing things for, like accordance to.
Okay.
Um,
Is this kind of like, do you have to like be heading out sometime soon, or is this something you
I
can
have 7
continue
minutes.
discussing?
I have 7
Gotcha.
minutes.
Goose will suggest the plan of potentially like having the Shadowcaster kind of more somewhere ideal for this to go down, and kind of like operate a little bit out of there, but keep anything like don't keep a whole lot like valuable as much as make it look like there's a decent amount of stuff maybe. Move
Money
around
is a
some
very little object to me, especially on a topic like this.
then move around something enticing. Maybe make it look like there's gonna be like an offloading in the morning, but they've left it maybe.
What a beautiful time for a sting operation.
Oh yeah. He does
She's
look like a
coming back
different
with us in
he does look like a
chains.
different cat, by the way. When like for the rest of the night, he looks like a actually similar to like a throwback of his old self, like with a gray tabby cat, no horns. The wings only pop out when he starts to fly, which he's not doing currently.
Arena would be I would be very clingy to Goose for as long as he's around.
Mhm.
Yep. He'll like kind of like tug the collar a little bit and be like,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
money.
she'll know, or I don't think she'll miss the rose too much.
I will say.
It's a damn shame that spell didn't work.
Yeah. Quite the time for a nat 20. Did make the
Oh yeah.
story a little bit more interesting than just, hey, let's get this captain, mug her, and then interrogate her. But
It's funny because you believe interrogation to be the only thing happening.
well, I mean, no,
Oh.
but like I'm pretty sure that the rest of the party like significantly wants answers. So interrogation and
Yeah.
aggressive.
At least part of it.
Interrogation versus thought probing is kind of an iffy territory. No.
Thank you guys so much for playing. And thank everyone for watching, of course. If you would like to join, if you, I do take tips, by the way. Cash App, Zelle,
Venmo.
I do take there. I also do have a personal Patreon. However, please support the guild before. Supporting the guild allows us to make the stream like these. It allows us to run free league games, which like I do once a week, and
someone probably does every other.
Yep, and it's also the for the moderators. It helps us like if we can reach Patreon goals, then we can start actually like supporting moderators and stuff like that. It helps us with creating modules and stuff. I work on modules. I write them. Supporting on Patreon helps us those out. One of the other writers, Gimmick, is working on a setting guide, and support really helps with that. It also helps with development of these rules. Just recently, at the beginning of the month, we put out this year's edition of the rule book. I'm currently trying to revamp Spelljammer and vehicle rules to include Spelljammers, war machines, and all the different vehicle rules that exist in one
tanks.
Yeah, well, war machines, tanks.
I know,
but in one document that covers all of it instead of it all being chaos. And there's a variety of other rules that we're helping with. It also is helping me write the handbook for our Star Wars Stellar Fantasy League, which is based off of the Saga edition. Significantly changed, so better. So
that's the understatement of the century.
It also supporting on Patreon also grants you membership on gives you a role on Discord, which gives you seniority in any league run games. Basically, if higher paying patrons don't have enough room, well, they seats. Additionally, if you are commissioned with me, or if you're doing buy-in games with me, I give discounts to people. And some other DMs might do the same. Buy-in. You get early access to the drafts of our modules and get to get involved in the creation by like when we put out like testing and when we're discussing rules, when someone has an idea for rules, or if they're putting out like, hey, this is an early draft to this rule, what do you think? We actually have places to discuss that on the server. And of course, you can also vote on things. If you want to actually vote on the rules that we have in this league, being a Patreon member allows you. Follow us on Twitter for announcements when we have announcements. More reliable to get announcements right now. For announcements, some of our campaigns. Twitter. Love to have you join Discord because it does allow you to check out our VODs on YouTube. Thank you, Vinsvept and Shane Ivers for this one music. You can check out Vinsvept on YouTube or Bandcamp. Shane Ivers has a website, silvermansound.com. They provided the wonderful music for this game. That's again, thank you guys for playing, and thank all of you for watching.